Hello, team video. Today we're going to take a look at a pretty cheap team that really worked out well for me here. We're going to have a Rowlet lead, and we're going to also have Slugma and the Vulpix. Vulpix can be a little bit more expensive if you want the second charge move, which is going to cost you 50k. But both other Pokemon are 10k unlock, which is pretty damn nice. This team has a small weakness for Slugma itself, which is something that you could fix if you would use Pumpkaboo in the lead, because Pumpkaboo would at least have like a neutral matchup against Slugma. But still, this is fine here. We're going to see a Pumpkaboo in our opponent's team here. We will be able to go for one Weather Ball to already nearly knock them out. This team worked out really well. You see all the battles I did with this team. I didn't cut out any battles at all, because battles with this cup are fast as hell, which is amazing for me. Like, I actually like the little cup format just because it's so fast, like no other reason, to be fair. As we're going to see here, next opponent having a Slugma again. Slugma is one of the coolest Pokemon in this current meta. We will see that we can go into our own Slugma, we can shield up this move, going to be our Rock Slide most likely. And we will have now our Slugma destroying the opponent again. There's nothing that can really take Slugma on, and Slugma is the main star of this team here. Look at this opponent here going for their double Seed Bomb most likely with their Bulbasaur. I'm calling the double Seed Bomb. I'm going to swap perfectly into my Rowlet. Rowlet is a 10k unlock again, which you don't really need. I think I've never used Energy Ball at all. Rowlet is for me a hundo as well, so whenever we get a community day or whenever we get the Hisuian form of this Pokemon, it's Hisuian, I think it's Hisuian, then we can just still use this Pokemon to evolve it later on, which is exactly what I'm planning to do. If you want to play this cup and you want to minimize your starters that you really use here, just try to use Pokemon that you can evolve later for other leagues. So for example, also Vulpix should be eligible for the Great League. If you have a good Shadow version, why not build for this cup first and then use it in the Great League and evolve it later, because it's definitely worth it for it. So this is kind of how I approach this cup as well, and I actually kind of like how fast it is. Otherwise, if you didn't know, I'm going to stream basically nearly every day, I think, the new Scarlet game and new main series games Pokemon here on my channel, so feel free to check that out. It's a lot of fun on stream right now, and I really enjoy this game itself, so it would be very nice if you would join. I might also stream some Pokemon Go again like later on this week, but nowadays I kind of want to stream the new game because it's just very fun to play. Otherwise, this team struggles sometimes a little bit with a Dewpider, but also not really. Every Pokemon on this team can beat Dewpider. That's the main reason why I use a Rowlet in the lead. There are other Razor Leaf users that also have a pretty decent matchup against the Dewpider, but Rowlet as well will be able to have neutral damage from the incoming Bug Bite, which is nice. We see them shielding up here. We can shield up as well, farm them all the way down. And what I'm going to do here now is, because Slugma is so safe, I'm going to swap into Slugma immediately here. I know already that I'm going to beat whatever they have in the back with that, the Pumpkaboo for example, and they're actually going to swap immediately into their Growlithe, which has no chance whatsoever. I can go for ahead and go for my Flame Charge here. We'll be able to get the shield and also get some more damage on this next charge move, and one Weather Ball will be able to knock out the opponent. This team worked out so well for me. I really enjoyed using this one here. But yeah, this is a very cheap team as well. 10k unlock for the Slugma, and you don't really need it too much to be fair either, but like, it's definitely worth it. Definitely go for Rock Throw though, even though it's a neutral move. It's not part Rock type, that's the evolution. It still does way more damage against something like a Vulpix here. We will see the Vulpix going down from the opponent, which is nice. We can see a Steel coming in. Steel is a little bit tricky as well sometimes, depending on which situation you're in. Actually, the Vulpix is a pretty neutral matchup. Especially Shadow Vulpix, I think, has a very decent matchup against it even. But we will be able to shield up the Icy Wind coming in now. Can we just farm it all the way down? We cannot. They're going to go to that Chikorita. I can swap out as well here and go for my Weather Ball Fire here, which will be able to knock them out if they're going to not shield this, but they're going to shield it up, which should be fine for us. They're going to go ahead and go for their Body Slam. Can we outspeed them to the next move? We cannot, but can we still survive it maybe? We will be able to survive it just barely. This is where the normal version of the Vulpix might be a little bit better. The Shadow version definitely would have went down here. I will be able to knock them out. And can I go for the move in time? I can, and Rowlet will be able to finish off this game here. Good game to my opponent again. Seed Bomb coming through and knocking them out. It's very cool how fast paced this cup is. I really enjoy this about this cup. It's just so fast in terms of battles that you do here. You will see a Dewpider against us now in the lead. If I had a better Rowlet, this matchup would be also definitely way better, but of course I have a Hunter Rowlet here, so it's definitely not the best one yet, but it is fine. We can go ahead and go for one seed bomb here. This will be able to get them low and we can farm them down with our Vulpix. They're gonna go ahead and go into their own Vulpix here. And I expect them to maybe have the same team that I showcased in my top team videos as well, with double fire in the back. But then they went to Slugma, I don't know. But I actually saw a lot of people running teams that I suggested, and also a lot of people having great success with the teams that I suggested. So if you're still looking for some other ideas for this cup, there's a video on my channel for the top 5 teams for this cup, and I saw a lot of people having great success with it in the comment section. So definitely something to check out. Seems to be working. We see the Oddish here. This Oddish will be able to go for a move here. This will actually knock me out, I think. Going to be the seed bump. I will be able to go into my Vulpix, still gonna get one quick attack through, and I can farm it all the way down with my Rowlet, and I just barely will be able to win this game here at the end with Rowlet farming them all the way down. Actually, I might just lower the speed of the battles for this cup specifically. This is only 2 times split up battles. This is not higher split up than before. It's just way faster battles than compared to, for example, Great League or Ultra League. So it seems way faster than it actually is. Yeah, I'm going for the Slugma say swap for the first time ever, and I already regret it immediately here, seeing the Wooper coming in against me, which is a horrible matchup, which completely resists all my moves. We're still gonna get them low because Slugma basically has no hard answer, but we have to go into our Rowlet now. We're going to shield this move up, going to be the Body Slam, and we will see a Seal coming in, which is okay for me, I guess. Sadly, I cannot get to the move, but maybe I can farm him down with my Vulpix. I have to see here. I can go for one Body Slam, but they might got enough energy here right now to win this game. So let's see. We can shield up the Awkward Tail. Can they go for another Awkward Tail? Can we outspeed them? Do they swap out? No, they already have 2 Awkward Tails, and this is going to be a loss here, sadly, as... Oh, we actually still survive it, but the Dewpider still gets to move here, sadly. If I could have farmed him down there, that would have been nice, but sadly, the Dewpider is just too strong. I kind of wanted to showcase Dewpider as well, but sadly, I forgot that... Oh, here I'm still going to select my cup because I forgot to end the recording, but it doesn't really matter. Because I actually evolved my Dewpider already into my Araquanid. I used it last time it was available, this cup, so... No, it's still fine. I was very sloppy here and slow on the say swap. I think I might have been able to actually farm them down in time before they would have got to move otherwise. But we see the opponent's Slugma coming in, and we will be able to get our shield back, which is nice. But now we have to deal with their Slugma here, but Razor Leaf just doesn't care about the timing itself, so we will be able to go ahead and just let this move go through, go into our Vulpix, farm them down, and now we have Vulpix against Dewpider. This seems to be a good matchup, right? I can just go ahead and go for the Weather Ball, resist the fast move over them. They will be able, though, to get to one move here, and this is the awkward thing about Dewpider and the normal Vulpix matchup. If I had the Shadow version, I think I would have been fine here, but with the normal version, I just don't do the damage that I want to do. Like, I thought that I would do more damage than this here, but sadly, the Weather Ball, even though it's stab and it's like a very strong move, it still doesn't do enough to really threaten Dewpider, and we're gonna go down to this Pokemon. Kinda sad, because my team is actually pretty decent against Dewpider, but I guess not like this. We see a nice lead for us with Barboach, we see a Dewpider coming in, and I make a mistake here by no-shielding this move. Why did I no-shield this? I have no idea. Don't ask me, because now my opponent will be able to go ahead and win this matchup. I think if I went for the Flame Charge, I actually would have been able to win this matchup as well if I went straight for it. But like this, it's kind of awkward, especially as they can get to another move here. I kind of misplay those games right now. We see the Bubble Beam coming through. I have to farm them all the way down. And I'm also still switched lock for whatever reason. I didn't swap out in time, I guess. I have to shield here now. And now I have to swap into my Rowlet. I cannot get a move through. They're gonna go into their old Vulpix. And this game is pretty much over. I would have hardwalled my opponent if I actually just played it correctly, but I didn't play it correctly. And I'm like... Yeah, okay, that's kind of unfortunate, to be fair. There's not a lot that I can do anymore, and I have to quit out of this, but kind of could have won this game as well, I think, if I just played it better. Next opponent, Seal Lead. Sadly, it's going to be the Ice Shot version. I think I could actually stay in against Ice Shot, but yeah, Ice Shot is actually a cool Pokemon, too cool move here to use, because especially as a say swap, Seal with Ice Shot might be a cool one for like the grass types. I think you have a lot of potential to still beat some grass types, or at least get a shield advantage against some grass types. Fire types don't want to swap into you, and water types are pretty rare. So I think Ice Shot Seal as a say swap, maybe want to make a video about it. I don't know. We will see. We will see. We see Vulpix coming in here, which sadly will be able to knock me out before I can get to another charge move. Body Slam coming through, but we have our Slugma, and Slugma should still be able to survive one Body Slam from the opponent. As it's very close though, I'm gonna go into my Rowlet trying to get up some extra energy here. Let's see what we can do here. My opponent gonna go into a Tepic. Oh, this looks horrible, and my opponent swaps perfectly onto the charge move. And they're going to win this game here. Seal, double fire. A little bit tricky for me right now, but very good. Like, very well played by my opponent here, to be fair. I'm just going to end the recording there a little bit early, okay? We see a Pokemon that I really like as well, which I might want to showcase as well, which is Litwick. Litwick is a cool one. It's a really cool meta breaker in the current meta. I think you don't even need a second charge move for this Pokemon as well, because I think you only really want one. The Pokemon itself has access to Ember, which will be able to burn down a ton of stuff. But Litwick itself will be the hardest answer, I think, as well for Vulpix, because you completely hardwall that Pokemon at all. And you're also going to be able to hardwall, of course, grass types. So for most Pokemon, it's a little bit tricky to deal with a Litwick. And here I'm also going to not have the best time against Litwick. Let me see if I actually have a good one that I can build, because I really want to try that Pokemon out. Litwick is looking like a very cool meta breaker right now. We will see here the opponent gonna go for the bubble beams, and there's nothing that I can really do here anymore. Litwick will be able to do too much damage to my team, so my opponent can now kind of farm me down and sweep me. But it might actually be a really cool Pokemon to take a look at. I think it learns like Flame Charge, and I actually don't know what else it learns. Heat Wave or Flame Burst it actually learns, so you basically don't even need a second charge move. Litwick might be the best Pokemon that you can get without using any second charge move, because you're just gonna go Ember, Flame Charge anyway. Like, there's no reason to go for any other move. So if you have a Litwick, maybe try it out. Might want to try it out myself and make a video about it, because it looks really fun. Next opponent, we see a Dewpider. Dewpider again, we can stay in here. We have a pretty decent matchup here as well. We will be able to just go ahead and let the moves go through. We see a Bulbasaur coming in. I'm gonna go into my Vulpix, which is a good-ish matchup, but also sometimes a little bit tricky. I'm going to let this move go through here, I think, because I expect them to go for the bait. And they're gonna go for the bait, which is nice because we resist the bait. It's still going to do some nice damage here against us, but we should be fine. Just gonna go ahead and let the move go through. We can go ahead and go for our charge move now. And this one will be able to knock out the opponent. We have a shield advantage, we have switch advantage, and we still have our Slugma in the back, which will be able to do a ton of damage against the opponent's Dewpider, as this one will get shielded up. Going to be the Bubble Beam, of course, going to do a ton of damage otherwise, but they have their own Slugma in the back. I will be able to go for my charge move here. This will get the final shield by the opponent, and now I have to believe in my Rowlet. Can I go for the move? I can go for the move in time. Does this knock out the opponent though is the question. It will not, but one more Razor Leaf is enough, and one more Razor Leaf is enough to also knock out the opponent's Dewpider, winning us this game here. Going into the final game, I think we're going to see another Vulpix here against us. Fine for us, we see the Wooper coming in. The super duper Wooper will get some damage from this body slam, which is okay for us. We're gonna get out at least the Wooper, which is nice. And we can go for another move. This might force the shield from the opponent, and it does force the shield from the opponent. I can let this move go through, as this will knock me nearly out there, but I can just go ahead and go into my Rowlet, keep my shield advantage for my Slugma, and I will be able to knock them all the way out with just 2 more Razor Leaves there in total, as this next one doesn't KO, but this one will KO. We see the Vulpix coming back in, and we see a Lileep coming in against us. This Pokemon is funny. It has Infestation. I think there was Bullet Seed you could have also got from it if you just got like tempted in a certain time. I think it was like available for 1 hour only, and now you cannot really get it anymore, which is just a better version of Infestation. But this thing still got a boost against me, but it doesn't really matter. We can farm them down, we can go for the Rock Slide, and we will be able to win this final game with this team. I can highly recommend you this team. It's pretty cheap to build and looks like a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.